Hello everyone, this is me Sahitya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll discuss about Supreme Court of India. So let's begin. So first of all, we'll discuss what is what is the Supreme Court. Okay, the Supreme Court is the highest court court in India. It stands at the top of the integral judicial system of India, and it was established on 28th Jan 1950, and 2 days after the Constitution came into force. And the provision relating to the Supreme Court are mainly contained in Article 124 to 147 of the Constitution. Simple definition is Supreme Court, the highest judicial authority of India and the final court of appeal. For example, if a case is decided by High Court and the affected party wants to challenge that decision, the matter can subject to the constitutional and statutory condition reach the Supreme Court. We'll move to the next topic is constitutional position. Okay, the Supreme Court is established under Article 24. India has the India has an integral judicial system, mainly that Supreme Court is the apex body, and under Supreme Court will be the High Court, and High Court uh, under High Court will be the district and subordinate courts. And unlike countries such as USA, India does not have separate federal and state court system. Okay, so we'll move to the example. So example will be a dispute may begin in a subordinate court, go to the High Court on appeal, and ultimately reach the Supreme Court. And we'll move to the next topic, composition of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court consists of CGI, Chief Justice of India, and other judges as prescribed by Parliament. The number of judges is determined by the Parliament. Important point is the Constitution originally provided for CGI plus 7 other judges, but Parliament has increased the strength over time. The Supreme Court number of judges, Amendment Act 2019, increased the sanction a strength to CGI plus 33 other judges. Total will be 34. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic, appointment of Supreme Court judges. So the Supreme Court judges are appointed by the President of India, and in practice the appointment follows the collegium system, which was evolved through judicial decisions. And the collegium of Supreme Court appoints consist of Chief Justice of India CGI plus 4 senior most Supreme Court judges. Example, if a new Supreme Court judges has to be appointed, the recommendation is made through Supreme Court Collegium and formal appointment is made by the President. So we'll move to the next, qualification. Qualification of a Supreme Court judge. A person must be a citizen of India, and he or she must have been a High Court judge for at 5 years, at least 5 years, or an advocate of a High Court for at least 10 years, or a distinguished jurist in the opinion of the President. Example, a advocate who has practiced in a High Court for 10 years can satisfy the constitutional qualification for consideration for appointment as a Supreme Court judge. When we'll move to the oath and affirmation. So a person appointed as a Supreme Court judge takes an oath and affirmation before entering office. The oath is administered by President or a person appointment by the President or this purpose. The judge promised to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution, uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and perform duties faithfully, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitutional and laws. Perform duties without or fear affected ill will. We'll move to the next topic, tenure. Okay. Tenure of Supreme Court judges. Supreme Court judge remains in office until the age of 65 years, and there is no fixed term such as 5 years or 6 years. A judge can leave office earlier by resignation, removal, and death. Example, a person becomes a Supreme Court judge at the age of 60. The normal maximum tenure is up to 65 years, subject to the earlier resignation or removal. We'll move to the removal of Supreme Court judges. So, Supreme Court judges can be removed by the President only after an address by Parliament, and the grounds are proved misbehavior and incapacity. the the address must be passed by both House of Parliament with the required special majority, and this process is probably called impeachment, although the constitution uses the expression removal. We'll move to the next topic is special majority. So sta- the the address must be supported by majority of total membership of that house and majority of not less than two-thirds of members present and voting. For example, if a serious person, i- if a serious proved misbehavior is established against a Supreme Court judge, and Parliament must pass the removal address to the required majority in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, often then can be President remove the judges. We'll move to the next topic, independence of Supreme Court. Independence of the Supreme Court. So judicial independence is essential for the Supreme Court to function impartially. Important safeguards include security of tenure. So judges cannot be removable easily, and fixed service condition. Their condition of service cannot be changed to their disadvantage after appointment, except as constitutional permitted. Salary charged on Consolidated Fund of India (CFI). The salary and allowances of Supreme Court judges are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. This means they are not subject to annual voting by the Parliament. And we'll move to the next. Parliament cannot discuss conducts of judges. The conduct of Supreme Court judges cannot be discussed in Parliament except when a motion of their removal is under jurisdiction. We'll move to the next topic, power to punish for contempt. The Supreme Court is a court of record and can punish for contempt of itself. So we'll move to the next one, jurisdiction of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has several types of jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction. The Supreme Court can directly hear certain disputes under Article 131. These include disputes between Government of India and one or more states, two or more states, and Government of India and one or more states on the other side, and other states on the other side. So we'll move to the example. Suppose state A and B have a constitutional disputes regarding their respective legal rights over a particular matter. Under the condition of Article 131, such a dispute can come directly before the Supreme Court. What is important? So important point is Article 131 deals with federal disputes, not every dispute between governments. And we'll move to the next topic, writ jurisdiction. So jurisdiction under Article 32. The Supreme Court can issue writs for enforcement of fundamental rights. So there are 5 writs. First is habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto. Example will be if a person fundamental rights is violated, that person can directly approach Supreme Court under Article 32. Important comparison. So our Supreme Court has Article 32 writs for enforcement of fundamental rights, and High Courts has Article 226 writs for fundamental rights and other legal rights. Therefore, Article 32 has narrower scope than Article 226. But Article 32 itself is a fundamental right. And we'll move to the next one, appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal in India. It can hear appeals in constitutional matters, civil matters, and criminal matters. We'll move to the example. A person loses a case in a high court. If the constitutional or statutory requirements for an appeal are satisfied, the case may reach the Supreme Court. And we'll move to the next topic, special leave petition under Article 136. So under Article 136, the Supreme Court can grant a special leave to appeal against judgment, decree, determination, sentence, or order of a court or tribunal in India. This is a discretionary power. For example, suppose a person believes that a serious injustice has occurred in a decision of a court or tribunal. The person may approach Supreme Court seeking special leave to the appeal. The Supreme Court may grant or refuse special leave. Important topic is Article 36 is not an ordinary right of appeal. It is discretionary power of the Supreme Court. And we'll move to the next topic is advisory jurisdiction. Under Article 143, the President can seek the opinion of Supreme Court on a question of law or fact of public importance. a dispute arising out of the certain pre-constitutional treaties, agreement, and etc. This is called advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. For example, if the President considers that important constitutional question requires the Supreme Court opinion, the President may refer the matter to the court under Article 143. Important is the opinion given under Article 143 is advisory in nature, not an ordinary judgment between litigating parties. So we'll move to the next topic will be court of record. So under Article 1 to 9, Supreme Court is a court of record. This means its judgment and proceedings are recorded for perpetual memory and testimony. Its record have evidentiary value and it has the power to punish for contempt of itself. For example, if someone deliberately disobeys an order of Supreme Court, the court can take action for contempt of court. And we'll move to the next topic, guardian of the Constitution. The Supreme Court acts as an important guardian of the Constitution. It ensures that laws comply with the Constitution, government actions remain within constitutional limits, and fundamental rights are protected. This is possible largely within through judicial review. So, example, a parliament passes a law that violates a constitutional provision, the Supreme Court can examine its constitutional validity. If the law is unconstitutional, the court can declare it invalid to the extent of the inconsistency. We'll move to the next topic will be judicial review. So judicial review means the power of the judiciary to examine the constitutional validity. Laws made by parliament, laws made by state legislature and executive actions. We'll move to the example. So example is if a law violates the a fundamental rights, a person can challenge it before the appropriate court. Ultimately, Supreme Court can determine its constitutional validity. And we'll move to the next topic will be judicial activism. So judicial activism refers broadly to an approach where courts play an active role in protecting constitutional and legal rights, especially where executive or legislative action is inadequate. Example is the Supreme Court has used PIL, public interest litigation to address issues affecting large section of society. PIL, interest litigation. So what is PIL? So PIL allows a person or organization to approach the court for the protection of interest of people who may not be able to approach the court themselves. Example, a person or organization may approach the Supreme Court regarding serious environmental pollution affecting a large community. The court can examine the issue in the public interest. We will move to the next topic, original versus appellate jurisdiction. So original jurisdiction, the case can begin directly in the Supreme Court. Example, certain center state disputes under Article 131. And appellate jurisdiction will be the case comes to the Supreme Court after being decided by a lower court. Example, appeal from a high court judgment subject to constitutional and statutory requirements. And we'll move to the next topic, review power. So under Article 137, the Supreme Court has power to review its own judgment or orders subject to the provisions of law and rules made under Article 145. Example, if a court discovers a serious error in its judgment, a review petition may be filed according to the applicable legal requirement. And we'll move to the next topic, curative petition. So a curative petition is an extraordinary judicial remedy available after dismissal of a review petition in exceptional circumstances. Its purpose is to prevent gross miscarriage of justice. Simple understanding is judgment, review and curative petition. But a curative petition is not a normal second appeal. Binding, we'll move to the next topic will be binding nature of Supreme Court decisions under Article 141. The law ordered by the Supreme Court is binding on all courts within India. Example, a Supreme Court gives an authoritative interpretation of a constitutional provision. Subordinate courts and high courts are required to follow the law declared by the Supreme Court. And we'll move to the next topic will be complete justice. Under Article 142, the Supreme Court can pass order necessary for doing complete justice in any case or matter pending before it. Example, in exceptional circumstances, the court may issue directions necessary to ensure that justice is effectively delivered when ordinary legal remedies are insufficient. And we'll move to the next topic, constitutional bench. So under Article 145 subclause 3, a minimum of 5 judges must sit to decide a case involving a substantial question of law as to the interpretation of the constitution or a reference under Article 143, and such a bench is generally called a constitutional bench. An example will be if there is a major constitutional question concerning the interpretation of a fundamental rights, the matter may be heard by the constitutional bench. And we'll move to the important articles. So it will help to in exam. It is for quick revision. So Article 124 talks about establishment and constitutional Supreme Court. Article 129 talks about Court of Record (COR), and Article 130 talks about seat of Supreme Court, and Article 131 talks about original jurisdiction, and Article 132 talks about constitutional appeals, and Article 133 talks about civil appeals, and Article 134 talks about criminal appeals, and Article 136 talks about special leave petition, and Article 137 talks about reviews of judgments, and Article 141 talks about law declared by Supreme Court binding on all courts, and Article 142 talks about complete justice, and Article 143 talks about advisory jurisdiction, and Article 143 talks about rules of court, and Article 146 talks about officer and servant of Supreme Court. And we'll move to the exam oriented summary. So highest court of India is Supreme Court, established on 28 Jan 1950. Articles between 124 to 147, and judges appointed by president, and retirement age will be 65 years, and removal president after parliamentary process, and court of record under Article 129, and original jurisdiction comes under Article 131, and read jurisdiction comes under Article 32, and special leave comes under Article 137, and review comes under Article 137, and binding precedents comes under Article 141, and complete justice comes under Article 142, and advisory jurisdiction comes under Article 143. Golden line for UPSC is Supreme Court is the final interpreter of the Constitution, the highest court of appeal, and the protector of the fundamental rights.